This is Doggy DNA, the show where we invite dog owners of all sorts to come and discover the secrets held within the DNA of their equally diverse canine counterparts. Be prepared for surprises as we reveal their DNA results to learn about their lineage and provide a historical context for their individual behaviors, personalities, and abilities. We'll meet some wonderful dogs and hear the stories of how they found their families. And we'll even have time to play with the pups as our experts share advice on how best to nurture and train a wide variety of breeds. So sit, stay, and let's get to know humanity's furry best friend with Doggy DNA. Get ready for some fun with Dante, the lovable, goofy dog who knows how to bring a smile to anyone's face.
Dante has changed my life in so many ways for the better. It's almost immeasurable.
Dive into an emotional journey with Freya, a dog whose touching story of resilience and love will tug at your heartstrings.
She helps bring that sense of peace and calm.
And finally, discover Hilma, a dog full of surprises. Her comedic nature combined with her unexpected antics make her an unforgettable companion.
She is definitely the thing that has glued us as a family together.
My name is Liz McKenzie, and I brought my dog Dante with me today.
Liz, how did you meet Dante?
I knew I wanted that friendly companion. Dante came to me from a breeder, and it was just an instant connection, and he's been my best friend for the past 2.5 years.
So tell me what it was like when you first saw him for real.
Overwhelming.
Yeah.
I was like a little teared up. He was only 3.5 pounds. He was out in the yard, just in a little fenced off area, and I picked him up and he just snuggled right in and fell asleep on my lap.
And do you feel like that was a moment he already knew that you were his person?
I think so. I had heard that first interaction is important for creating that strong bond. He did so well the whole car ride. Yeah, we kind of just instantly connected.
What was the transition like, getting him acclimated to his new home?
He was crying, he was awake all night, but I knew to prepare for that. So the first couple days were definitely tiring, but 100% worth it.
How did you pick his name?
I chose the name Dante because of his breed, being an Italian Greyhound, and I thought, well, I want something that's really strong. And from that, I chose Dante.
So let's talk a little bit more about Dante and some of the things that you've grown to love the most about him over the last few years.
My favorite things about Dante include his cuddliness. He's very playful, he has a lot of energy, and I really love his food motivation because it helps with our training. You know, we go out once a week and we practice agility together. We go for probably 3 or 4 runs a week together. So he's just like that perfect companion. I like an active lifestyle, and he can handle that really well, but also if it's like a nice stormy day outside, he's totally okay to just veg out on the couch and then snuggle for the day, so.
Do you notice that he's got any really quirky things that don't really fit?
He is more outgoing. They are, from my experience, quite a timid breed.
He asks for what he wants.
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
He does.
He's like, please.
He's
can
like,
I have
another
some more?"
treat.
I'm waiting. But does he ever do anything sort of mischievous or troublesome?
Like I mentioned, his house training was like a hard process to get used to for us. It took a while. So now sometimes if I do end up leaving him at home for an extended period, what he likes to do is hide under the blankets. He'll poke his head out and he'll see me and he'll go, oh my gosh, mom's home. And then he'll take off running, and that's my giveaway that, you know, he's probably peed in the house somewhere.
Okay. Well, you're here today to have a DNA profile done.
Yes.
Why did you want to have that done?
I suspect that he's an Italian Greyhound, so that's what I've been basing a lot of my care for him off of. But I thought it would be a good idea just to make sure, because I feel it's my responsibility to give him the best life that I can.
Hi, Liz.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I have some results, and we're suspecting Italian Greyhound, correct?
Correct.
Maybe some other things in there?
I might be surprised if there's some other things.
Okay. So Dante is indeed an Italian Greyhound.
Okay.
100%.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Purebred.
In the hills of ancient Italy, Dante's ancestors, revered for their speed and elegance, were the cherished companions of nobles and emperors. As Rome's influence spread, so too did the popularity of the Italian Greyhound. journeying far and wide alongside traders and diplomats, and spreading their charm and elegance across Europe. From luxurious estates to royal palaces, greyhounds like Dante were esteemed as royal companions, gracing the halls of emperors and kings.
So Italian Greyhounds, they actually fall into what's called a toy group of dog, typically used for companionship and don't necessarily come from a lineage where they did any kind of work. However, they are known as what's called a sight hound. So hounds can either be scent hounds or sight hounds. Scent hounds are obviously hounds that follow their nose. Sight hounds are hounds that follow their eyesight. So quite a high prey drive. And that's something you have to keep in mind when you purchase an Italian Greyhound, that anything they see, they'll typically kind of beeline for it. And they're tiny, but they're fast. Have you seen any of that?
So much of that. I was the crazy lady running through my neighborhood in my robe that I took him out just for a pee because he took off chasing birds. But we also do sprinter trials. So it's a 100-meter dash, and they use a lure system with that has a little pulley on it that mimics a rabbit. It's his favorite activity that we do. He absolutely loves it.
I love that you do that because that is literally what he is made to do genetically. He wants to see something and he wants to chase it. They can run up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. That's really fast.
He does a 100-meter sprint in 8.4 seconds. So it converts out to over 20 kilometers an hour. Someone came up to me after and said, "Do you realize your dog is faster than Usain Bolt?" And I thought, oh my gosh, you're right.
Very, very impressive with their speed. But something that you have to keep in mind when you have these speedy little dogs is that we need to be able to snap them out of that beeline that they're in and get them back to keep them safe. Have you worked on recall with Dante?
So we started working on that basically from the first week he came home. My sister has a lot of experience in training dogs, and so she was very helpful. Once he is locked in, like you mentioned, it can be really challenging. So whenever I take him to a new area, I always like to leave him on just a nice long line so he has freedom, but I can still get him back.
In an area where they might beeline it somewhere they're not supposed to be, make sure it's fenced in properly, or when you do let go of the leash, make sure it's long enough. These little guys do fantastic in things like agility. They're very obedient. They want to please their people, right? Italian Greyhounds are known to be absolutely head over heels in love with their owners.
So Dante is sensitive to cold weather, so he actually has a wardrobe that's almost as big as mine. It's the way he gets outside and he can still enjoy it.
You made my heart explode when you were talking to Laura and said, I took him away from his family, and now I know it is my responsibility to give his life the most that I can give, right? The most enrichment, the most protection. I have chills talking about it right now.
He's my best friend, and it is my responsibility.
Italian Greyhounds are known to be nervous. He was cautious, but he was able to deal with that cautiousness extremely well.
The fact that I had the opportunity to speak with an expert on Dante and his breed and their needs, it was amazing. Dante has changed my life in so many ways for the better. It's almost immeasurable. You know, we get to go out and try new things together. We get to have lazy days on the sofa together. So he really is just the best addition to my life.
Join us on an emotional journey to explore Freya's DNA and the unbreakable bond with her family. Coming up next on Doggy DNA.
My name is Jamie Gannon, and I brought with me my dog Freya.
I would love to hear the story about how Freya came into your life.
We wanted to adopt. She happened to appear on my screen as a little dog named Karen. And funny enough, I was adopted at birth and given the birth name Karen. When I saw her, I kind of just felt this connection, like it was meant to be. I kind of love our little story together.
Yeah, it's a great story.
We decided to change her name, and because she was so loving and friendly, we went with Freya, the goddess of love. Once we brought her home and we had our week trial, she fit right in. My boy dog was a bit funny, but he really liked having a friend, and she connected right away with my 3 sons. And having 3 boys and a boy dog, it was about time we brought a girl home. The first few days having Freya at home was really fun. Turns out she was very calm and just wanted to sleep all the time, which was a good balance for our family, which was hectic all the time. She was much more of just a little queen and just wanted to be treated as such.
What are some of the things that you've come to love the most about about Freya?
My favorite things about Freya is absolutely her calm demeanor. She runs the house. It didn't seem that way until she got comfortable, but now she very much is the alpha dog.
How does she fit in with the family, with the boys?
Fantastic. I think they like the idea of having a girl. They give her this soft side where my other dog is completely wild. He loves to run around. She is just snuggly. They cuddle up and watch movies together. She's a lot calmer on our walks, so they love to walk her, which is nice. She has this spark just wanting to give love to everybody. It was nice to kind of feel that she brings things together. She was the final piece, I say, to the puzzle of our family. Yeah.
Why don't you tell me why you really wanted to have this DNA profile done?
So I did Ancestry DNA last year. I got incredibly lucky. And I now actually, a little over a year now, have been in contact with not only my birth mother and father, but I've met extended family as well. So it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So the DNA information can be pretty powerful.
It is really powerful.
Yeah.
I wanted to get Freya's DNA profile because we had no idea where a lot of her traits were coming from. It would be really exciting to figure that out and to be able to help plan a healthy future.
Hi, Jamie. I have Freya's results.
I'm excited.
I heard you talking to Laura, and you've already been suspecting Cairn Terrier, and you're not sure if that's purebred or if there's a little mix. So I will tell you, 29%
Wow.
of her DNA is
Oh my
Cairn
God.
Terrier. But she has 2 other breeds sprinkled in there. Coming in at 50%, we have Chihuahua.
Wow. I did not expect that at all. Wow.
And then 21%, so the lowest percent, she has West Highland Terrier.
Wow. Oh my goodness, not at all what I had suspected. I was really thinking there was Maltese in there somewhere. Oh my goodness, that's actually so cool.
The West Highland White Terrier were prized for their hunting prowess. Fearlessly burrowing into dens to rout out badgers and vermin, they proved themselves invaluable to farmers and landowners. Their distinctive white coats stood out against the rugged landscape, making them easily identifiable and unique. As the world connected through trade and exploration, so did the reach of this remarkable breed. From the bustling docks of Glasgow to the serene shores of America, West Highland White Terriers like Freya embarked on a journey beyond their native land.
So she's pretty much half terrier, the Westie, and then the Cairn Terrier, the other half being a Chihuahua. But Chihuahuas are known to be very terrier-like. Are you familiar with terrier traits?
I am, yeah. I did used to have a Yorkshire Terrier. So that's really what I was most familiar with, but not the Chihuahua at all.
The Westie and the Cairn Terrier, they're what's called earth dogs. These terriers were originally made to help hunters hunt small game. They would basically burrow down into their tunnels, bark at the animal at their little home so that the hunter could then do his job once they're out. And so they have these competitions called earth dog trials. You bring your terrier, and a lot of the time they just know what to do and they do it. So a lot of terriers are known to still have that digging behavior and then barking, barking, barking. You see that?
Yes, I do. And she digs. She likes to dig, for sure. So that's actually really cool. I hadn't even attributed it to the terrier. The prey drive, I did, but not so much the digging and realizing that that actually does come from her history.
One thing that I did want to talk about in regards to Freya, it's not uncommon for these dogs that have a white coat to see what's called porphyrin staining. And that's just like a color pigmentation that you'll find in saliva and in tears. With the tears, or if she licks her paw, you'll start seeing some porphyrin staining on her feet. But the groomer can help you take care of that. There's even little wipes that you can buy for these white dogs to help with that. When speaking about terriers and what they require, they don't shed like other dogs. The dogs that have the wiry coats can have their dead hair that usually would fall off of other dogs and shed. These guys tend to kind of retain it. And so there's something called plucking, and groomers or owners will just do a gentle little pull or a pluck to give a more luscious, kind of silky, shiny coat. It's not painful. These hairs have reached the end of their life. They just kind of hang on and don't fall off like other dogs.
So learning that method of grooming with Bianca was really cool because it's something that I didn't know about terriers first. her, and I will be taking those home and trying those out on her for sure.
Chihuahua are toy breed dogs bred to just live in luxury on your lap and be the main attraction. They can be really stubborn, and the reward is going to have to be worth it, or else she'll probably not be interested.
That is definitely her.
Yeah.
Yes, to a T.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right treat, she doesn't listen. She's gotten much better now that I've gotten to know her. And now knowing about the Chihuahua in her will make a big difference.
Just have to guide her to where you want her to be with the right reward. It's like this fine balance with Chihuahuas of them being a big dog stuck in a small dog body. I mean, she thinks she is like a Great Dane, you know what I mean? But they do have a very sensitive side as well.
Talking to Bianca was fantastic because I definitely learned more about some of those characteristics that come with those dogs, and it made perfect sense. Freya has changed my life hugely for the better. She helps bring that sense of peace and calm, and I think every mom needs a little bit of downtime, and she really makes sure that I get that. She has done nothing but brought love into my life. Everyone else who meets her thinks she's, you know, a princess and deserves all that love, and she sure does.
Could Hilma's love for the outdoors reveal a hidden lineage? Uncover more funny and educational secrets after the break.
My name is Naseem Abonami, and I brought my dog, Hilma, with me today.
Naseem, how did Hilma come into your life? Tell me the story.
So we adopted Hilma from the SPCA. It was actually kind of funny. We were living in Toronto during the pandemic, and we realized that our lives were very much career-focused, and we wanted to move somewhere that was closer to nature. And so that's really what came about of like moving, finding a place that incorporated nature into our daily lives, having that work-life balance, and then of course getting Hilma.
Getting a dog.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you first saw her?
She was quiet. She wasn't like the most outgoing out of the bunch, but that's kind of what intrigued me about her. She was very like cuddly, just calm, and that really drew me to her.
Yeah. And do you think there was a moment where Hilma sort of felt that connection with you?
A lot of people talk about like soul dogs, and there was just a connection immediately. Like she was comfortable with me picking her up and cuddling close into my chest. There's definitely something that just connected us.
Let's talk about Hilma's name.
So actually all the puppies at the SPCA were named after potato types.
Oh.
So her original name was Yukon Gold. It didn't really fit with us, but her name is inspired by an artist that we both love. We have both a very creative background, and her name kind of fit.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, tell me some of the things that you have grown to love the most about Hilma.
My favorite things about Hilma are that she loves a lot of the same things that we do, my partner and I. She's a little mischievous, and she has her own personality, which is always really nice to see.
Let's talk a little bit about Hilma's behaviors.
She's definitely a high energy dog.
Okay.
I would say that she loves being out on the trails. She loves to do like a lot of like rock climbing. She's definitely a water dog, but yeah, she loves puzzles. She's very into training, which is probably the only time where we really find her food motivated. She's definitely not into fetch.
Okay.
So she's very much into tug, using her nose to do a lot of nose work.
Okay, so she's a sniffer for sure.
Yeah, she's a sniffer.
Yeah, amazing. You mentioned that she is a little bit mischievous. I'm wondering if you can give us an example.
She definitely knows there's certain things that she's not supposed to like play with. If she gets a hold of a sock, it's a different game.
So you're here today to have a DNA profile done. Why did you want to have that done?
We only knew that she might be Rottweiler and Husky from the SPCA, so we didn't know much about her background. I think knowing her breed type will allow us to better train her, also in terms of just her overall health.
Hi, Naseem.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I have some results for you.
I'm excited.
Do you have assumptions?
So we were told Rottweiler and Husky.
Let me surprise you. Okay, we're gonna start at 23%
Okay.
of Hilma's DNA is Alaskan Malamute.
Really? Okay.
Similar to a Husky.
Yeah?
27% Siberian Husky.
Okay, so that makes sense.
And then at 50%, Beagle.
No. Beagle.
Beagle.
That's wild.
Renowned for their power, agility, and unwavering loyalty, Alaskan Malamutes like Hilma played a crucial role in the survival of the Malamute, assisting with hunting, transportation, and protection. Their thick coats, designed to provide insulation against the biting cold, and sturdy build enabled them to navigate treacherous terrain with ease. With their happy, calm, and well-behaved temperament, Alaskan Malamutes like Hilma typically respond well to verbal commands, a testament to their intelligence and willingness to work alongside humans.
I'm shocked about the DNA profile results. I had no idea that she was going to be mostly beagle.
So beagles are what's called scent hounds. They play by following their nose. They follow their nose on walks. They just follow their nose all the time. You've noticed that?
I've definitely noticed that. It makes a lot of sense, not only like outside and on trails, but also inside as well.
So humans have about 6 million scent receptors. Beagles have 225 million scent receptors. So they're really, really good when they do scent work. And that's why they're usually chosen to do work with the military, the police, search and rescue and that, because they thrive, they love it, first of all, and they're really, really good at it. The two other northern breeds, the Husky and the Malamute, these guys were originally made to do a lot of sledding and a lot of hard work, and they thrive in northern areas because they have that thick double coat. Does Hilma have a thick double coat? Have you
She definitely does. She goes through the husky like shedding season for sure. It's like a whole nother dog.
Absolutely. But the cool thing about that coat is that it does a really good job at keeping them warm in colder climates. In warmer climates, you just have to be aware that Hilma may be a little heat intolerant, so she might seek out shade or cooler areas. Sometimes you'll even see Huskies or Malamutes kind of dig in the dirt and then kind of lay down. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Another common trait with the Beagle as well as the northern breeds is that they can be mischievous. They tend to have a mind of their own.
Definitely. She definitely has a little bit of an independent streak. She gives a very good judgy side eye, and those eyebrows are always working.
Very classic for the Husky and the Malamute. And another thing that's also seen in all three of the breeds that Hilma has is a big need for a pack. They really are pack animals. They thrive in packs, and a pack doesn't have to be another dog. It can also be their humans. These northern breed dogs, as they like to do that kind of sledding work, you can do something called joring, and you can do this with a bike. Some people just do it when they're running, and it's just putting a belt around you with a cord attached to the dog. They pull you, and they really love it. It's really enriching for them because they feel like they're at work and they're doing like, look at me, I'm doing such a great job. And it's also really good for them physically and mentally, and it's just lovely.
Sounds like, honestly, that's something that she would love. But maybe it'll take me a little bit longer to learn it than her.
All three of these breeds are very hard workers. Her going into work mode, have you ever seen that?
Definitely have. You can definitely pinpoint when she's ready to work, and basically, we just try to like harness that, train her when she's in that mode. A lot of times it means like having that playtime beforehand so that she can get those Zunies out and then be able to kind of transition into work mode where she's really like intent on doing her job.
Nassim is already going above and beyond in regards to what Hilma needs.
Hilma means quite a lot to us. She is definitely the thing that has glued us as a family together. She's brought laughter and joy and happiness.